Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Monday, February 7th, Tonight Show. What we're doing tonight is kind of like we're a little bit all over the place because everything that's going on in the world is all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah, it's like the upside down world. And and I know you guys have been hating the discussion about Joe Rogan, but shit, it's so front and center with everything that's going on with the Stern Show that they're
circling the wagon,
intrinsic to each other, right? They're like an integrated kind of
They are now. Howard's kind of
right
put
now.
his foot in it.
Right. So yeah, but here's the thing: as much as everybody's been, all over the place on Twitter and pretty much everywhere on social media about how, okay, well, if it's good for Joe Rogan, why isn't it good for Howard? And I had written very, very succinctly, it's like, okay, well, Joe Rogan did not take from, Howard Stern's School 101, which is you basically ignore everything. So yes. the more you don't talk about it, the more it will just go away. So we did want to, I saw that, Molly Ringworm. She's saying that, well, I don't know if you're a she actually. It's saying they dredged up a clip of Rogan impersonating a child with disabilities. Better not show them wigs, years and years of exploiting people like that. Yeah, exactly. So I think what's happening here is that, so you have two different things here, right? You have like Spotify and you have Sirius, and you have Sirius who, probably is on the downward trend with a Howard Stern, right? I mean,
downward
has to be.
It's China, right. It's so down,
right? But then you have Spotify who, just signed Rogan, and I say just, but it's already been like what, a year, 2 years,
about a year at least.
So you have like him on the upward swing and the doddering old pelican on the downward swing, and it was kind of funny today because Gary Puppet had said in one of our threads on RadioGunk, hey, Bon Jovial, why don't you cut a bunch of clips with Howard saying the N-word? And it's like, it's not that easy. Howard's been on the air close to 35
take 70
years.
hours. You got to spare 70 hours to
we got 35 years together. Compared to 12, 10, yes. Right? And so it's 12, a very different dynamic to just kind of pull that out of your ass and make it happen. It's just not that easy. Okay, so what I wanted to kind of start off the night with is, let's see. I wanted to talk about this, which was the TMZ thing. Let me put it on the side over here. And I just wanted to read this article to you, and it's kind of like what... it kind of is very emblematic of every other article that was out there this week talking about Howard and Joe Rogan and what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. And by the way, Joe Rogan's eyebrows, not in this picture, but currently look really, really weird. So basically...
the guy Red Bar, he started the whole internet critique other shows thing since 2003. He calls on that show, they call Joe Rogan Bruce Shillis. Because all he does is shill for companies.
Everybody was calling him Joe Rogan today, and I just didn't even.
It's been around for a long time.
That's Andy Dick. Andy Dick used to have a feud with him. Used to call him Joe Rogan.
Okay.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, Joe Rogan, N-word controversy, new whataboutism with Stern. So I won't go through the whole blather, but basically, Joe Rogan's getting called out repeatedly for using the N-word in the past. He's getting expected whataboutism treatment with comparison being made to Howard Stern. In the wake of Rogan apologizing for his previous usage of the slur, fans of his are now up in arms over the fact that other famous people in Hollywood have also hurled it with impunity, including Stern, who infamously did so on his old show. We've all seen this. Yes, really. I know some of you got a little pissy with me for replying to this Chernovich dude, whom I really don't know.
Now, he started the other thing with Trump Jr.
He tagged us in a post yesterday.
I spent an entire day going after Olsen twins for this guy. I didn't even say thank you. Stupid, ungrateful.
Who?
Ruski Cernovich.
Oh, well,
I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know who. I guess he's like a political. I don't know. What does he do? What does this guy do? I see his name. Is he just a Twitter personality? Does he have a show? I don't understand how this guy has this kind of power. What is he from?
So anyway, he linked to us, and of course, it was a broken YouTube video. So I found the clip that was originally in that thread. and I retweeted it to him, and it's gotten like a whole bunch of views and people commenting on it and all that stuff. So yes, so Stern has also done blackface in some of these instances. This was another one that Chernovich, and I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Cernovich. Okay. He was talking about the blackface thing, but then he got into the Olsen twins thing, and how we're talking about, you know, their boobies when they were 13 years old. It was really kind of gross. So yeah, so there is a lot of whataboutism going on. I don't believe in look at his eyebrows. He's looking like
oh yeah,
he's looking really
he got
weird for some bizarre reason.
Too liberal with the manscaper.
A little bit going on there. So yeah, so that's kind of where things were stemming from today, and it went on all weekend. I mean, it was like a shitstorm of stuff going on, just in terms of people saying, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you going after him? Oh my God. Okay, Gary Puppet wants everyone to know, why aren't you people filling up our Super Bowl squares poll? You must go to RadioGunk.com in the forum section. You have to go see the Super Bowl poll thread that is on the front page. It is completely free to join. Pick two numbers. That includes you, Xavier, and John. I don't even know if you did it yet. But you need to go and pick your numbers. A lot of people were really, really good about contributing to the pool. So you will receive Amazon gift cards if you win your quarter. So by all means, okay, Gary? Okay. So I mentioned that. He even PM'd it to me. He's like, why aren't you telling people?
So yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah, so we need like 15 or 16, 17 people to come in and do it. All right, yeah, you too, Hooper. Okay, so I'm going to start with a couple of things from today. Now, I know that we're circling the drain. I know this.
That's what we do.
Can I say before you do, what's going on with TMZ? Actually, would never report on Howard. I mean, I can't tell you.
It's too big of a news thing for it to get passed over.
I think there's a couple times where they've actually, but they'll end up like complimenting him at the end of the thing, so it's like kind of cleaned up. They would avoid all sorts of stuff with him, and like I said, there's a ton of old CERN people that work on TMZ. I think Levin might have been represented by Buchwald too at a certain point. So there's this total synergy with those two. If you ever watch TMZ, there's like a flat Ronnie on one of the guys. There's tons of Stern crap in there.
Yeah, they're very Stern centric.
Do not trust them going after him.
Yes, Bella, we will be doing more Gunk in the Night shows. Absolutely. They take time and research, and
we're still traumatized from the last episodes.
So we've been talking about it just recently, and yes, we are definitely going to be doing some new ones. Okay, and Cindy KG said they kind of defended him towards the end of the TMZ
that's
article.
exactly what I'm implying. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, they hate to say it about him, but yeah, it's very passive aggressive the way they did that thread, the way they did that article. So, okay, now, Johnny, of course, sent me a bunch of stuff, which is on a different drive than the ones that I'm going to start with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with today's show, then we're going to go backwards into cancel, or do we start with cancel and then go into today's show? What do you guys want to do?
Let's get today's show out of the way. I know it's all absolutely.
They are literally all 30, 40-second clips. So
I don't think Dumpster Fire applies to anything more than this current show. And I try not to overuse it. You know, it's kind of like a beat to death, but nothing is more applicable. There's no other word for it than Dumpster Fire.
Yeah. There's no words to talk about. I
can tell by the mockery thread how unenthused everybody was. Xavier was saying before we went on, it was just like, they're expecting, you can't, by the way, everybody stop expecting him to comment on something. He's not taking anything on. He argues with tapes, and if it's too hot like this, he's going to completely duck it, unless someone like Trump Jr., at the height of Trumpism in like 2020, he was forced to address it because it was so huge he couldn't duck it. Stop expecting him to address stuff. You know what a pussy he is.
Do you guys think that they just pulled the plug on the phone lines today?
Oh my God!
Yeah, the directive they were given.
They had
absolutely.
No chance in hell that would take one random.
They took one call today, and it was from a woman who wanted to let Howard know that she had sex while scuba diving and wound up getting pregnant and wanted to know if he enjoys doing it in the water. And so Ronnie immediately comes in and says, "There's no way,
fake.
You had sex scuba diving and got pregnant. There's just no way. That's just impossible for you to keep yourself in a position where you can have sex when you're like 20 feet under the water." I mean, it was just really ridiculousness.
I should say,
it's like they're not even like trying to be close to reality at this point.
No, they're
not. Melvin's letters gives us a little short biography on Cernovich. Cernovich has been around for 20 years. He was involved in the pickup artist community.
I don't know what that means.
Over to it's like, dudes, how do you pick chicks up?
Like
here's
the Robert
my tip.
Downey Jr. movie?
It's like a hypnot. Yeah.
With Molly Ringwald?
Yeah.
Is that actually a business? How to pick up chicks?
It's like you're teaching dudes who have no game how to pick up chicks. I guess that's what I guess. The JDs of the world. It's almost like a collective JD. His target. I don't know. I have never seen his thing, but that's what that is. He has written a few books. He's a poor man's Gavin McGinn. He's a right-wing lunatic.
So what I wanted us to talk about, hang on a second, let me get there, is how Howard started the show. And it was really weird. I'm not really sure who listened to it today. I don't even want a show of hands because I'm sure like maybe 3 of you actually listened to it. Okay, obviously a troll in our midst. All right, so this is what he started out with, and you guys tell me what your thoughts are just in terms of what do you think is going on, because I think the end is nigh.
Boy, I got a good night's sleep last night. I haven't slept in days. My mom hasn't been doing well. She'd been sick, in and out of just different ailments. She's 94 years old. My old man, my dad, he's 98. Nothing bothers this guy. He's like fine.
So
did he know something was going on with your mom?
I don't know. I don't know what he knows. Yeah, I think he knows. He knows she's not there to serve him his lunch.
Oh.
So she's in the hospital?
He has no details. He's going to talk about his parents, but he has no details. He barely knows their ages. He doesn't know what they're saying to each other. He can barely conjure up he starts the show with this, and he doesn't know anything about, he can't tell you anything about his own parents. That was a phenomenal repartee.
Yeah, but do we think she's in the hospital?
I mean,
because
aren't they always
that she's
at
not
that age?
there to feed him his meals or something?
Separate rooms. He's not. Why should we have to strain our brains to guess it? Tell us what she is. Why do we have to even? This is what's so bad. This is just symptomatic of what's so awful about the show. Why do we have to even guess? Why are we sitting here wasting our brain cells guessing? Because this is what the show is. He tells you nothing.
Yeah. No, she's 94, Beanie Mac. She's not even 92. She's 94. Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the end is near for these people.
You would think, right?
Well, the interesting thing about it though is that I think he's gonna. I'm just gonna take this one as like the second part to it, only because it's still obviously on his mind. I mean, it has nothing to do with anything, but just take a listen.
I wanted to bang Beth, and she told me this was crazy. She goes, I'm on my period. I go, oh, she goes, why don't you just go jerk off? I go, okay, I'll take care of it, because I was all whack. I was just like, I was upset. My mom's not doing well. Blah 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 blah. I had a lot of stress, and I thought, I'll go fuck Beth, but she's not interested. Okay.
Poor baby. What? Who is doing well at 94? What does that mean? I'm not doing well. No one's doing well at 94.
Clint Eastwood.
That's great.
That's about it.
That was laser quick response. I know he's still directing 5 sequels at 94.
He had that one movie where he was a mule where he banged these young girls.
I'm with you. If I was 94, I'd be smoking crack all day long. Yep. Absolutely.
I don't care anymore.
But you know what? Someone mentioned it. It would be wonderful if his parents are like one of those 120-year-olds. Can you
I
imagine
don't even
how
care
awesome that would
at
be?
this point. I hate the fact that he still has them as the whipping post for all the things that ail him. I hate it. You know, I wonder if that ends when they die.
He has every private MD and resource in the world keeping them alive with every possible way, just so he doesn't have to go to the funeral or not go.
I don't know. You know, I think he's going through like a wild range of emotions with shit like this, because you know what, it takes a while to.
I think sociopaths have no emotions.
Yeah.
Jose?
I don't think that he has any emotions at all. He's a narcissist.
No, of course he's a complete narcissist, and he lacks empathy and doesn't really give a rat's ass about other people. But his parents have been the focal point of all things Howard. All things. You know, we were talking earlier today about the fact that we've really never really dug into private parts of the book as opposed to private parts of the movie. And, you know, it's one of those books where he will constantly say to you, you know, I don't really even want to talk about that book anymore. And it's because it's all lies. I mean, the whole thing is just one lie after another written by Ratso Sloman.
It's a lot of shit talking too. We'll bring up a name
and it's disgusting. I was reading it to Xavier this morning, and he's like, all right, enough.
It was pretty bad.
Take a guy like now, he claims to worship Steve Martin, right? Goes to his New Year's Eve party and stuff. And in the book, all he does is call him a boring, no talent, you know, over and over again. So that's the type of shit. Every person in there he shit talks is going to have to come out. There's nothing in there he stands by today.
Nothing.
Awesome.
And most of it, I'm not joking when I tell you that as I was reading this to him this morning, he was like, Mo, I'm eating enough. This is absolutely disgusting.
It was.
First chapter, you know, just going on and on about, you know, this guy jerking off in his car because he's listening to like this hot conversation between Howard and some
patty melt
lesbian on the phone, right? And it was so graphic and really kind of like disgusting. I'm not necessarily sure that it's me getting older or just that at the time it was gross anyway, and we just didn't give a shit, you know?
Well, it's provocative. He was just getting off that it was nobody else was talking about masturbation, so it's provocative. And somehow...
You know, X can't read. This is why I do.
That's right. I'm functionally illiterate. What about it, you fancy readers?
Okay, so I want to continue with some of our clips because we do have a lot of stuff to get through tonight. Okay, so then after they were talking about that, they got into the football bet that they all had. And if you heard last week's shows, whether it be ours or, oh no, not last week.
The Chiefs and the
week
Bengals,
before. So he started this whole
away.
thing the week before last and had no follow-up the next week because he was on vacation.
Yeah,
So he comes back today, and they decide that it is a fire hazard for them to record burning Richard Christie's hat and favorite jersey on air. So what they decide to make Richard Christie do is cut up his favorite jersey and just like stupidness, and he has to send it in, and they're going to make a flag out of it with loser underneath it that he has to fly
those guys
outside of his house.
Him.
So cute, so precious,
so forced,
like such a great
forced.
thing to do with it. But instead, we have even a better idea. Let's get his hat, which is his absolute favorite hat, and let's let every guy who wants to on the staff jerk off into the hat. Jerk off into the hat. And then we'll weigh it at the end to see how much cum is in the hat. And and you know, and that at least JD now doesn't have to show his penis to anyone. But of course, Chris Wilding, of course, still, you know, I've decided Chris Wilding is the weirdest fucking guy on that show. And he knows exactly how to please boss, right?
Well, be gay as possible is the way to get on the air.
Oh my God, he's disgusting.
Come out of the closet.
Here, listen to
be
this
as
clip.
Gay as possible.
It's really short. Just listen. It's coming.
That this was not an even bet.
You want to know what it was? I didn't put any thought into the idea that Richard would lose the bet. I just wanted that. I wanted Richard seeing JD's cock. That would have been funny today. And so, hey, Chris, what's up? What do you want to say?
Well, I'm really disappointed. I know I wouldn't have gotten to see JD's cock, but I really wanted to hear Richard describe it because I've always had a theory that JD has a big cock. I can just get that sense from people, you know, as a gay man.
Right.
And over the weekend, someone actually sent me a Photoshop picture of JD with a huge cock.
Hang on.
And it was so erotic. I got to be honest with you, JD, like I pleasured myself thinking about that picture.
Okay, seriously, you guys.
What are we doing? What do we do? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Why me? Why me?
Can we just end the show now?
Well, forget about the fact that Robin's really rich off this show.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
What does Robin get out of a segment?
Like, subscribe.
What does a 70-year-old black woman get out of a segment like this? Forget her how much money she makes. What is this show? What is it? It is a gay show. It is. Usually you have to come back. Every talk radio show has to come and talk about current events, whether it's sports or politics or there's nothing here. They don't have to talk about anything current. This is just for a closeted gay man to get his rocks off using his staff as pawns. And this is what is this?
Yeah,
I say it 1,000 times.
Hack radio.
Who is this for?
It's hacky radio. That's all it is.
we listen to it, you guys. We listen to it, so you don't have to. That's the whole point of this show.
Snapper 50. Do you feel yourself losing IQ points and chromosomes? Do you feel yourself getting stupider? I do. As she's playing the clip, I feel my brain just shrinking into. I'm already stupid. I can't afford to lose anymore.
All right, so let's hear about the bet because that's really where the fun begins. So let's hear about how they're looking. Let's hear how they're looking forward to this being a really great bit. As soon as they get the hat to.
He's a Steelers fan, so.
Richard, you've torn up your shirt. They will be used as cum rags as the guys come all over your Chiefs hat. They will use it to wipe up so that there's no accidents or spillage in their homes. And there it is. There's the Kansas City Chiefs hat that John Blitt will pick up from Richard's house.
Last good look at it.
Remember to get that shot because that's the before.
Yeah, by the way, guys, there's a logo on the back and on the front. Cover all that shit up.
Not a problem, JD. JD, you have just turned into an evil little fuck.
Listen, that's a bet, bro.
Sal,
yes.
Do you think after a week with the hat, you could legitimately cover up the back logo, the front logo, and the inside of the hat?
I believe so, absolutely, Howard.
Those are big logos.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Is this supposed to bring down the Chiefs organization? Or
come crashing down?
They're going to move to Portland now because they're covering their insignia on this awful gay show no one's listening to. By the way, in the chat, Monique, Miss Beaverhouse, and talk about Beth's period. So give us some insight. Beth can't have her period. She has an eating disorder, and she's 50. Beth doesn't get a period. She's 49. Is that so? What's the deal with?
You know what? It all
periods?
depends on your. It depends on.
I thought it was a body fat thing.
No, it actually all depends on your.
In fact, this is really weird, but like
your mother really. Like if your mother had menopause kind of late, then you usually have it kind of late.
Right.
But I would say pretty much everyone goes through it between the ages of like 47 and 57. It depends on who you are. Yes, Bon Jovi, you're 1,000% right. I did mean to bring this up because it drove me insane all day today that Howard could not say Bengals. He said bangles.
Don't you get it, Monique? He mispronounces it. That means he doesn't care about it, and it's reductive. Don't you get
rebel.
It's comedy. I'll change the E and make it an A. He doesn't know the name.
Right. That's how much I dislike football. That I would just call them the Bengals. Bengals.
Yes.
It's just horrible. I didn't play the first clip, which is what I was supposed to play, which was how they started the show. So let me just play that really quickly, and we can try and ponder what the hell went on here, okay?
Hey, Mo.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to start off. What happened last week? So many things.
So you would think, because he said what happened last week, so many things, that what he would come out and say
Right.
is basically anything that happened last week. Anything.
Absolutely.
Ukraine, Giuliani being on that Mask Wonder thing, Rogan, just anything.
Well, if you're gonna get Learjet limo props, that's the new term now, right? Learjet limo. You can't even say Learjet liberal. You can't even say limo liberal anymore because Learjet
Limousine
is Howard's.
liberal.
Right, 1%. So you'd think, well, why don't I drop a political rant here or have a political guest on? You jerk off to MSNBC. Have somebody from morning. No. You're not gonna.
No.
So he doesn't. But he's getting props from the left for fighting this awful fight, which he doesn't. We know it's not genuine. We know
only
it's
because he
the
gives them talking points because they don't have to talk about it themselves. Right. And more important than that is this.
All right. Yes, the rumors are true. Fred is now a woman and will be referred to as she. His pronoun is she. Her pronoun is she.
And what is she still being called Fred?
Yes, Freddie.
Oh,
Freddie is a girl name, boy name.
Okay.
Yes. So if you heard that rumor, it was true. Fred has been denying his.
I just want you to know this went on for 19 minutes. Just so you
sexuality for years.
Yes. Thank you, my mistress. Thank you, my mistress. Again, my mistress. Thank you, my mistress. Thank you.
Okay. This is 19 minutes. I just want you to know.
And let's unpack.
There's nothing.
Everyone's unpacking everything now. Let's
unpack.
So this is this is just.
I love the way you just said that. It's
you know how everybody says it now. Well, there's a lot to unpack here.
There's nothing to even understand, though.
Carry on luggage.
Come on, guys. All this is he knows everybody wants him to talk about the TMZ stuff, so he comes in with his. What's the one thing I can just?
He's
throw
trolling
out there,
the audience.
A little grenade to. So all of a sudden people are just disgusted and confused and kind of hopefully they forget about this weekend's articles. It's okay, this harks back to the conversation we had a few days ago when Artie committed suicide and it was all over the place.
Yeah.
The next day, what did everybody expect him to do?
Yes.
And it was crickets.
Molly Ringwin says Robin's pronoun is fupa.
That's vintage ringworm.
They them fupa.
That's so ringworm.
But anyway,
by the way, one of my favorite tag names in all our community. That is such a cool name, Molly Ringworm.
Oh, it's amazing. Well, let's talk about the one thing he did talk about that had anything to do with anything current other than the Kansas City Chiefs bet from last week. I mean, and legitimately, this is. Oh, he did talk about the guy from CNN getting canned as well, and
Zucker.
I'll talk about that in a moment as well. But here's his interesting take on Whoopi Goldberg, which I found kind of weird.
You were within the guideline.
Yeah, this is weird.
I saw that Whoopi Goldberg got suspended for 2 weeks from The View, and people were asking me while we were away, what did I think of this?
When I first heard this, I was like, are we still in school? Whoopi was suspended?
I know. It's just
hysterical. Hang on.
Suspended. Here's the thing. This is what I think. And, anti-Semitism is on the rise and all that stuff. But I didn't see.
Oh, sorry. It kind of goes in.
This as a case of anti-Semitism. I see this as a case that television has a problem. They're asking comedians and interesting people.
He's so wrong on this, but okay.
People to be serious about issues in our world. Whoopi Goldberg is a fabulous comedian and a more fabulous actor.
Bullshit.
I think she's a good actress. Actually, I'm with him on that. I think she's a really.
Good actress. She won the Academy Award for great, Ghost, and I think she was up for Color Purple. But to expect Whoopi Goldberg to be some sort of expert on history and the world.
He's so wrong on this. Whoopi Goldberg gets paid a shit ton of money to be in charge of The View and be up on current events. And I'm
Monique. Does she have produced? Like, does she have Barbara Walters' old status on this as far as
yes,
You would
calling the
think so at this
shots?
point, right?
yes, she does. Yes,
I would
she
think
does.
her or Joy would. At this
Yeah,
point.
it's definitely Whoopi's show. And you know what? I have to tell you, after all of this and him defending Whoopi and stuff like that, I think what would smooth the whole Joe Rogan thing over would be for him to defend Joe Rogan. Like, I think...
Yo,
I
he ain't
think,
touching that. He'll never say Joe Rogan ever
I
again.
know, but a minus and a minus is a minus, and I think
At
that's...
the same time, he's so irrelevant, you'd think he'd want to be attached to him in some way, but it's never going to be good. I mean, it's just he's tried it and it's blown up in his face because he
here's
just
the
looks
thing.
like a doddering, out of touch old man with no
Right.
take on anything.
Yeah, there's no way. Because at this point, he knows the guns are aimed at him.
Yep.
And the next time he says something related to Joe Rogan, he's going to open up the gates again.
Well, he's also trying to turn it political, and Rogan's not a Republican. I think he wanted Bernie Sanders to win the Democratic. So he's just kind of likes what he likes. I think he's apolitical as far as like trying to commit to. I mean, that's what I've heard of him. The lazy part is also how many guests has he had since January since the new year? Johnny Knoxville. Right, so if you're gonna be the world's greatest interviewer, be the world. You don't get casual Wednesday when you have 80 shows a year. Make them all count. You don't get to Johnny Knoxville is the only guest you've had in a month and a half. World's great. All I hear is serious commercials running montages of all these big A-listers that come in.
Steve Z says, serious overrates Stern's importance.
That's
what
without
it is.
question.
People hate change. They hate it. They just do. They just hate it.
It's just anti-business, isn't it? If you keep him around.
Again,
you said it's all about. You said it's all about the cars.
They hate change, though. They hate not having that moniker. They hate not having the Howard Stern name. And you know what? The really weird thing to me is I don't really think they see what we, the average consumer, see in terms of who's listening to what. I don't really think they care.
They don't want to see it because then they're admitting that they made a colossal failure.
Costco makes all their money on membership. So does Sirius. So does Netflix. They make their money on membership. Okay, let us go on to the elderly of the Stern Show talking about NFTs because they really don't understand what they are. I mean, okay, yes, most of us don't. But having Robin try to explain NFTs to Howard, I thought was kind of amusing today.
It's a digital representation.
Okay.
Never fear truth.
So if I paint it, all right, I just finished painting a painting.
Here we go.
And I sell you a digital representation. I take a picture of my painting and I say, Robin, here's a picture, not the painting. Here's a picture of the painting.
That's right. And it's the only one that will ever be created. No one will ever be able to get their hands on the original. So this is the only version of this that you can have.
Oh, so give me an example of a Beatles NFT.
Oh, God, it's always to the Beatles. Bankrupt references.
Well, I know one of them is lyrics. Like somebody's, I forget I don't know if it was Paul's lyrics or something else, but a very famous song like Yesterday or something like.
Okay, so she doesn't know
like that.
Basically,
all right, but wait.
Yes.
What are you buying? Are you buying?
You're buying the NFT. You're not buying the piece of paper that the lyrics are.
Highest paid newswoman, guys, right there. Staff of 70, and they can't tell her what that acronym means. Staff of 70.
No.
$12 million a year, thereabouts.
No, I think NFTs are the most gigantic Ponzi scheme that has ever existed in our lifetime.
But it's now become this celebrity painting community now.
Beanie Mac says, Robin Z, you're younger than my mom. Could you imagine your mom coming to you and can you imagine Beanie Mac going to your mom and saying, hey, Mom, can you explain to me what an NFT is?
It's to the
Beanie
point.
Mac's actual mom goes, sure, black guy, I'll tell you what it is.
It's to the point that now Robin talking is like a cutaway from Family Guy.
Oh, we want to talk about how I stole Howard's mother?
Oh, here we go again.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, no. First, let's talk about HR rules so we can finish talking about that whole thing. And tell me this doesn't relate to Marcy
For the Stern?
Turk even slightly.
Okay.
Workplace has to come up with a policy. Now, some of these very strict, sort of like financial institutions, law firms and stuff, they have policies like, hey, no fraternizing. That's it. No one is allowed to hook up. But there are other companies that have looser sort of things, and they recognize reality that people are going to meet up and perhaps have sex or maybe even get married. Workplace has to come up with a...
Talking about Marcy there?
Oh, God, yeah. Ben
Right,
Bardo.
Totally. All right, let's hear JD's audio issues real quick.
Hold on a second. I just want to say JD is going through a transition. He's becoming a woman, and that's his new voice box. So it's a little rough right now. Hey, we have an opportunity here. New character, Robo J.
Everyone's transitioning now. It's the new bit.
Yeah.
By the way, Monique,
I thought he was in space. Like, that chair behind him looks like a space... the chair you'd see on a space shuttle or something.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything. JD's an air traffic controller now.
Horrible.
I'll be back. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I can't hear it in my headphones.
Just so you know, they also got JD tickets to the Super Bowl. He asked if his wife was going with him, and he said no, she's busy.
So they're off the week after that, I assume.
I don't know.
Another week. That has to mean.
Listen, could JD not do his job out of the LA office? Really?
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, is there really any difference whether he's home or in Kansas or in Nebraska?
Nope. They don't have to be live, and he doesn't have to be there. They don't. Nothing. Nobody has to be anywhere on the show.
No, nobody has to be.
It's not going to improve anything. Where they are, who does it. It's.
All right, I want you guys to listen to this clip and tell me where you think they're going with this. Again, it's a short one. It's only 13 seconds.
Do it.
I've explained to you off the air why Beth was clipping my toenails. I think I had a legitimate reason. And by the way, you'll be happy to know I'm back to clipping my own nails now that I'm fine.
What do you think?
He's a pretty princess.
No, but there had to be a reason. Something's going on with him.
He's no joints. He can't bend out. He can't, he can't tie his own shoes.
Yeah, he's having like some sort of dexterity issues.
Wigga bifida, wigga mortis. He never has joints. He can never. I mean, he's a veal, Monique.
I know.
Like 10 years ago, probably. Come on.
Oh, I like this one, Fairway Maiden. He got eye surgery. That's good. Just okay.
He looks better fat
this clip, just so you know, is called "I Misstole My Mother." Okay.
It's nice that he says, hey, I was listening to Howard and he gave me an idea. He remembers. And unlike Imus, who he had his own mother, but didn't try. But then he tried to get my mother on the air. He didn't even bother.
He called your mother. Yeah, that's Imus said, oh, Howard talks to his mother. I'll talk to his mother too.
So weird. Because my mother, I remember calling me up and she goes, what's with that Imus? He's calling me. I'm not his mother. I go, I know you're not his mother. Weird. I said, don't take his call. Well, I feel rude, but I go, Mom, don't take this fucking call. It's ridiculous.
But can you imagine this guy tried to take your mom?
Yeah. Co-opting my mom. But the only reason I was pissed at Imus all these years, I was like, why couldn't he just admit the influence I had on him? He just couldn't. He couldn't bring himself to do it.
Can you imagine the balls on him? Okay, now John has some clips that are a little bit more
tangential to what's going on right now as far as Artie goes and the racist stuff. I have some nice racist clips of Howard that in addition to some Artie stuff. We talked about on Saturday that I would show you the Norm Macdonald clip where he talks about Howard enabling Artie. And we have some Olsen twins stuff. We have Megyn Kelly, Howard Wiggerus flying too close to the sun in 2018, trying to talk about Megyn Kelly in blackface. Well, was released later. What he did, we all knew what he did. And him goofing on Deion Sanders.
This is Norm Exposes Howard. Can we start there?
It's a funny thing. Somebody sent me this tape from the Adam Carolla radio show. A friend of the show, Norm Macdonald, a guy I like very much, was on Adam Carolla's show. Talk about, again, another person who thinks I should be daddy. He went on Adam's show and sort of made some comments. And, this is Norm. Maybe he's trying to be funny or something. I don't know.
But what about me?
About Artie, about how I am killing Artie or something. You know, it's like, and I listen to it, and you know, I respect Norm, and I think Norm's a bright guy. Norm's coming in here in a couple of weeks. So I would always listen.
You don't respect this particular opinion.
No, I like Norm very much, but I got to be honest with you. Here, I'll play you the clip.
I can tell if he's trying to be funny.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was really trying to be funny.
Well, everybody can tell when he's trying to be funny.
Here's Norm.
No way.
Norm Macdonald talking about how the Stern Show enables Artie. But here it is. I'll play it for you.
Norm, what else can we talk about? We did Celebrity Millionaire.
Your show coming up?
Here's one. Artie Lang.
Artie, yeah.
You're friends with Artie.
I am very good friend. Anyway, well, yeah.
Well, we're going to open the newspaper or turn on the computer.
Norm didn't seem to be able to handle whether or not he's good friends.
Yeah, he doesn't even know if he's a good friend.
Well, it probably means Norm hasn't really been a good friend to Artie lately.
Right.
You know, Norm is probably not a guy who really still hangs out with Artie.
Well, he lives in L.A. and I'm here.
Okay.
We talk on the phone.
He was unable to really articulate.
Yeah, he didn't know what he is.
Right, he was like...
Or one of these mornings and find out that Artie is not with us anymore, yes?
Well, I hope not.
He recently went into rehab again, I think.
Well, it's outpatient. Rehab, so I don't know what that even means, but I hope he does good. I don't know. It's a very tough position because it's a guy who has we all know guys who have problems,
Right.
You worked with a guy who knows a whole bunch of guys that have problems.
Sure, Kimmel. Oh, yeah, Dr. Drew.
Yeah, Dr. Drew.
Sure.
And so it's tough and everything else. But anyways, he's in a certain position where it seems like because I went to see his show, his stand-up show.
Yeah.
People just handing him Jägermeister all the time, drinks. So it's like his whole show is enabling him and his whole audience
The lifestyle is not conducive with sobriety.
No, it's terrible. It's really...
Also, and not only are drugs available when you're a celebrity, people give them to you, but also I would have been a cokehead too if I got $2,000 an hour to do construction back in the 80s.
Right.
And instead, I got $9 an hour, and I was like, I'm not going to buy a gram of coke for $110 when I'm not making $110 in a day.
Exactly. So he's got the money. Also, his comic character,
yes,
is that of a drug-using, heavy-drinking guy that's going to die.
Right. So how does he go on as a comedian without that persona?
Yeah. I told him, be a rehab guy. Just, call yourself the rehab guy and it'll be funny.
But nothing is more tedious.
But, the thing...
No, but at least he'd live.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't like what they're doing on Stern to him.
What are they doing?
I mean, obviously he's complicit in it, but I'm saying that... he doesn't have to be Beetlejuice, or he doesn't have to be. They had a midget on that show that was drunk and died.
Really?
Yeah, I remember
Hank.
Yeah.
And they were telling him, "Hey, drink more, drink."
So you think they're enabling him?
Of course they are. Yeah. But it's for the good of the show,
It's
what I mean?
entertaining.
I mean, I know Howard. I love
A train
Howard.
wreck is entertaining.
Yeah, Howard's a fantastic guy.
It's going to be awesome when I'm at his wedding in 2 weeks, and he's like. One of my callers told me what Norm said on the show.
I'm enabling Artie.
I'm gonna go. I didn't say anything. He's going, yeah, but you laughed and nodded.
Yeah, it's gonna be that way. He's gonna.
Adam Carolla was at his wedding.
Yeah.
I didn't see any pictures of Adam Carolla at that wedding.
Yeah, he was. He didn't go to the birthday show, but he wasn't. Yeah, he went to the wedding.
I didn't
Is
know
it
that.
weird? Go over. I have a show some point. Go over his wedding, the celebrity wedding in Manhattan. Who got to go to that? Jillian Barberie actually made the cut. Trump went. It's just a strange
I only remember
list.
seeing a couple of pictures from it.
Chevy
I never really
Chase.
saw anything other than those
Chase.
bullshit Getty pictures that we saw. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to
Everything Norm said was spot the F on. That's
Absolutely.
just not even a question. You can't push back. By the way, I should say they come back from a long Christmas, I think 2.5, 3 weeks off. So he has time to come up with a retort to this. This is kind of building. So it's coming back from a break and he tries to retort to it with canned responses from, whoever, Jason, Benji, and it's just off. He sounds ridiculous. You don't have to play the rest of it if you.
yeah, I'm moving on. Okay, where do you want to go next? I'm a little loath to play Olsen twins. I do
come on, you got it.
Okay. Should I go to Megyn Kelly first?
You could do that. It's a long clip. I kind of left the room so you play as much, but it's all in there. Everything's good, I think.
Well, you have one and you have two.
It's two of them. I cut it off and I put the second of the. So Megyn Kelly Blackface. You can play it as long as you want. Everything about it is vigorous. Flying too close to the sun is the very personification of that. It is before the stuff was resuscitated from his blackface with George Jefferson. And so it's him acting all altruistic about blackface. Megyn Kelly was on some kind of panel where Luann de Lesseps from Real Housewives went as Donna Summer, completely innocent. And so she's saying it's not a big deal.
I have a coughing fit coming, so I'm going to play it right now.
Okay, play it.
Hey, it's really very obvious that NBC wants to force Megyn Kelly, who used to be on Fox News. They hired her, a lot of controversy. They paid her a lot of money. Everyone was like, I don't know if she'll fit into the NBC environment. They so clearly want to get rid of her that they're making it obvious. And I'll tell you the story. On Fox, she actually did this whole rap about how Santa Claus is white.
Right.
And get over it. I wonder, do we have that where Megyn Kelly, I bet you we have, that's worth listening to as I set this up. Oh, they're all sitting around a table with Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly looked pretty good. People sent me the clip. And they're talking about blackface, and Megan's kind of out of it. She's
well, they're talking about the Real Housewives of New York, I think.
Yeah, and they're saying that the Lady Luann or Princess Luann, whatever her name is, Luann,
or a white person who puts on blackface on Halloween.
Black kids and black adults who have been victimized, who had to go through the era of blackface and being goofed on, and these big lips, and white people putting on these big meatball eye costumes with the big dark black makeup. That it was demeaning them. It was
but not only that,
degrading.
You don't have to be black.
Right. But
any other time of the year, and we wear this face every day and suffer the consequences of it.
So here she is on the air, and she's doing her thing. This is great.
You still be able to dress like a moron.
But what is racist? Because truly, you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface for Halloween, or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Back when I was a kid, that was okay as long as you were dressing up as a character.
If somebody feels like something is offensive to them, then you should say it, and that's fair game.
Yeah, but there was controversy on the Real Housewives.
So anyway, it's just a really dopey conversation because we've had this everyone knows that if a black person puts on whiteface, that wasn't used to demean white people. The reason it's offensive, Megan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he trying to?
Yes, he's preaching to Megyn Kelly about blackface. This is before all his blackface came to light again.
It
off
takes
the Channel 9 show.
to say.
This is vigorous, flying too close to the sun.
It's
So this is 2 years before the Trump Jr. thing.
When you put on blackface, it was used as a torturous kind of element to goof on people and really make them feel like they were a piece of shit.
Right.
So anyway,
but
this
again,
is
it's
how I
not
know.
just from the past, Howard.
Right.
Every day, black people are pointed out, objectified. And
I'm sorry. Should we now go to the clip of you interviewing Howard?
That's why I'm doing it.
She was interviewing Howard in blackface, and now she's off.
That's because her only job on that show
and
is to
sometimes wind up in trouble because of their brown skin.
Right. Here you got a panel of white people discussing blackface, and none of them have actually been black.
No. That makes all of you. That makes every single human being that works for you, Howard, except for Robin, and perhaps Rashawn. Every person. Did you ever see that group shot they had at that restaurant that one time?
Yep.
Not a single black person in
No, I don't. No.
I would like to find
It's
that.
like if you had a panel on gay marriage with no gay people there, So anyway, this is how I know NBC wants to get rid of Megyn Kelly. Last night on the news, on NBC News, they ran a story about this. When did they ever do that if they love the person?
This is their anchor.
This is their anchor. Listen to this story.
This isn't the first time Kelly has come up.
This is NBC News. You're telling me they don't want
to negotiate their way out of it.
We get the point there.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I want to move on to what's Dina versus Howard's
That's
Artie
the
update.
woman screaming about Artie. We were talking about playing this today, Saturday. So I dug up, this is the caller, Dina, who's screaming at Howard for not bringing Artie up. Howard starts to show off talking. This is just like today. He starts to show off coming back from a huge break in 2010 and decides to talk about American Idol when Artie's been fired from the show. And I showed you the thing. So she gets on and rips him a new one. And it's I'll piss on my audience famous clip.
Oh, I'll piss on my fans if I want to?
Yeah, I'll piss on my fans. This is what we talked about Saturday to bring up.
Oh, okay. So listen, you guys, and I'm not sure how far back a lot of you go with us, but one of the most classic things that Howard has ever said is, I'll piss on my fans if I want to. I'm actually dying, Super Trooper. I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden I got a tickle in my throat, and now it's killing me. But, hey, what are you going to do? All right, so let's go ahead and play this. Hang on a second.
Dina, go ahead in Houston, Texas.
Hello.
Hi, Dina.
Howard, seriously, you have to stop. It's ridiculous with the American Idol. I mean, I know they get a huge following, but I have to believe that most of that is teenage or children or teenage adults. Nobody that subscribes is serious. It's bullshit.
I'm not sure your point. Should I stop talking about the fact that they are talking about me replacing Simon, or you being talking about him? I'm not sure what you're saying.
Either take the job or don't take it. Just quit fucking talking about it.
Oh, I think it's, you know what? Dina, I got to disagree with you. I think it is the greatest thing ever that there is a.
You know what it really is? It's you missing Artie Lang. That's honestly what it is. It's a lack of content, and you just keep going on it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if listen, certainly I miss Artie, but I don't know that it's that. I just think this is fantastic.
Then do your audience a favor and at least update us. Because let me tell you this, Howard. I completely love you. I enjoy the show. Robin, Fred, I love you too. However, with that same breath, I'm not one of these people who pay $12 a month. I was bamboozled when I got my membership, and I paid the whole lifetime membership for $500. I heard Artie 3 times, and I haven't even got an update on how he is.
First of all, the nerve of your fucking ass to call me and tell me your fucking problem.
Wow.
It's not my...
Fuck off. Get lost. Get off. Take your stupid subscription and cancel. Who cares, Dina?
Fuck you.
Fuck you, cunt.
Fuck you.
Do your audience a favor.
Get lost. Don't do my audience. I'll do my audience whatever I want. I'll piss on this audience if I...
Douche.
You don't know anything about my audience.
Fuck you.
One that wants to know what is going on with Artie.
That's so call up like a human being. So call up like a... Shut up, you filthy animal. Listen to me. If you want an update on Artie, say, Howard, can you give me an update on Artie?
No, that's
and what makes you think I have an update on Artie, you witch? Just such, and listen to your shrill voice. Are you married? Are you? I'm Howard fucking Stern. You have a voice like a seal.
I really do.
Yeah, I mean, like this is what kills men. They marry someone like you and they hear that voice the rest of their lives, and then people go, well, why can't you stay married? Simply, it's her voice. It irritates me. I didn't know when I married her she sounded this bad. I was pussy struck.
And some people would say emaciated bodies like Beth isn't what turns them on.
Beth has the most perfect body in the world. You dream of having a body like Beth. Beth's body's so perfect she was a bikini model, you fucknut. How dare you criticize my wife's body?
Oh, I love this.
You don't have to tear me down.
I'm tearing you down. Your voice is obnoxious. You have an obnoxious way about you. If you think that talking about American Idol is boring, so go listen to something else and cancel your subscription. No, you're not. You're no fan of mine. I'm no fan of yours. I don't care. Cancel. I want you to cancel. I don't want you listening in this private club anymore. This is why I left terrestrial radio. I want to be able to get... Is there a way I can look up her name, Dina, and cancel her subscription?
Her.
Like, in other words, cancel it, and not even give her the option to listen. I want to know if I have the...
my fucking money back?
I want your money back. I'll pay you personally to quit.
Please do.
I'll send you $500 tomorrow to get you off my fucking line, you pig.
What, Gary?
Gary? Gary's not
Gary?
Well, whoever needs to get my
Oh, listen to that voice. Oh, my God. Oh, I paid $500 for my membership. Who cares?
Wow.
Wow.
Really? Okay, well.
Who cares? Go smash your radio. Put your head and the radio underneath the tires of the car and run the car over both of them. You're making me ill. You got an obnoxious way about you. Where's my Artie update? What do you think? I know what the fuck is going on with Artie? Who do you think's calling me about Artie? Artie's got his own problem, and I bet you it stems from women like you.
You should probably think about giving your father, I don't know if he would be up for it, but maybe like a political view, like maybe
She's giving him content advice.
Shut up. My father's an old man. He doesn't looking for to entertain you, Dina.
What year is this?
2010.
Okay.
I'm serious.
I can't. Listen, I got to go home. There's got to be a way out of this contract early. I'm ready.
That was
I'm
probably
ready.
Portia de Rossi.
You need Artie.
That was
Well, listen, maybe I need Artie, but
Wow, there's so many things in the chat I am dying to talk
that was
about
Demi
here.
Moore.
I think they've set it off.
Go ahead, stop.
He hates anybody who calls out his bullshit.
Well, that's the feminist Dr. Sara Sarkis right there, calling her a cunt.
Yeah.
This
over
is
and
a
over
real
again.
call. Okay, this is the real guy. Caller was actually a fan who cared about the show, not a troll or a hater. Cannot believe I used to be a fan when I hear these clips.
Spot on, Huck fan.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so
It's about
true.
the time we start weeding out real calls.
Yeah, nice deflection, Howard. This is what he thinks of all of his subscribers.
Well, imagine those phone lines getting flooded with Artie calls, right? I think she duped her way on.
Absolutely.
And said American Idol.
He would have never
and
picked that
there's
up.
no way he's picking up on that.
That's right. He had her on a second time and like Psych 101'd her. I think he smelled another Debbie the Pet Lady or something.
Yeah, there's a follow-up somewhere, right?
Exploitive fuck. Wow, I had no idea there was a follow-up call with that.
Yeah,
one.
I get that somewhere. I just put that on there for now.
That wig and his relationship with Ralph are the most irritating lies about him because it's so obvious. He thinks people are so stupid compared to him. What do you think really set him off? The price? Do you think that, like, I mean, he just snapped. He just went.
Well, you have to go back to the time. It was right after Howard had Artie fired, and he did the whole suicide attempt, and then they went into cover their ass mode.
Right.
So literally every day, I remember like tuning in. Okay, they're going to talk about him. They're going to talk about him.
Yeah, eventually they have to tell us something. And Artie was also on radio silence, so we didn't hear anything from Artie either.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, think about what year this is, too. It's 2010, so he's renewing his contract. You can't go into the next contract saying the guy who got you there in the first place with subscriptions, Artie's not coming back. It's typical, it's classic Howard to sort of bait and switch you, get to that next level, the phase of the contract, and not bring up that Artie's not going to be there for the next 5 years.
No, yeah, absolutely. Because people, I remember back in the day, people were talking about like, well, is he coming back? The show sucks without him.
Everything was a big mystery.
Wow.
And I think he smelled marbles going out the window.
I love that clip.
Yeah.
So that was Demi Moore, by the way, if you didn't recognize his voice.
I love that clip. I love that. All right, where do you want to go next? I have Turk in Rumson, New Jersey asks Artie Lang about Scottsdale. That's got to be you.
That's me. I've heard it before, but it was part of. It was Artie sounding lucid. That's what got him on our show, I guess.
All right, we're gonna have to swing back to that one. That's clearing out the computer clip.
Go to
Olsen Twins.
Well, are we on? What are we on? Yeah, let's go to the Olsen Twins. I do want you to hear the Dion. Yeah. Just Howard being racist on this is what a normal show was. The Deion Sanders clip was him just a normal show in the early 2000s. This is every day what he would go his default. And I want Beanie Max. I want Beanie Max. How can, if you were black, how are you not he's basically the gist of this is you're black, you can't read, and I don't read it any other way. There's just it's just
him.
And slow and just become a full-fledged retard.
All right, speaking of full-fledged retards.
She's looking at about 10 minutes.
Here's Deion Sanders, the football guy.
Football, baseball, yeah.
Yeah, they had him host the Miss USA pageant, and he was awful at it.
Why is he hosting a pageant? It's all about talking.
His name in hosting should never come up.
Man, we got a lot of tapes of him hosting. Which should I go to first?
Well, the first one is the intro, okay. I guess. The very first thing.
The guy can't read.
Allie Landry.
Put it together for Miss USA 2002 competition. I'd like to introduce my co-host for the evening, the lovely, beautiful actress and former Miss USA. Give it up for Allie Landry.
Guys, guys. It's going to be so much fun.
Girlfriend, I am so excited. This is so cool.
Hey, the new Step and Fetch It.
Yeah, really?
Who's that, Uncle Remus?
I was like, what in the world is he doing?
Yeah.
Who sounds dumber, though, her or him?
Oh.
Anything like this before. But you know what? You must know a lot about this being Miss Former USA at all.
Ooh. Well, you know, you're no stranger to competition either. He played in a World Series.
Yes.
And he won not just 1, 2 Super Bowls.
Oh, that was nice.
We got to get him to host something.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's the best. Hey, look here, Allie Landry. Hey, doggy.
Oh, there, Allie.
Damn.
He's the new Bird Parks.
But you know what? There should be. It's a big difference in the players here tonight.
You're right.
They're a lot better looking than the guys I play with.
I hear you.
He's like Fred Sanford.
Oh, my God.
Right now. 2.
Holy mackerel, 2,000.
How do we get to meet him, dummy?
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. I never watched these pageants. When I saw him hosting, I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah, I wish I knew. If he's hosting anything else, I'll watch it.
Oh, my. Well, I have the whole thing on tape. I'll send it home
Please.
with you.
Okay. We're going to start with Kansas.
Uh-oh. He's going to have to read some questions?
He's going to have to read some.
Now, look here, ladies.
Please reach in and select your question.
Yeah, we want to make sure this is fair.
Into my pants.
I hope he's practiced reading these ahead of time.
The delegate from Vermont asked.
The delegate from Vermont asked.
How come it is?
If Letterman leaves now, I know who's going to replace him.
There you go. Dion's in the wings.
I'd watch this every night.
Top 10 reasons. How have the events
Who have the events
of September 11th affected you personally?
What happened September 11th?
Well, personally, anybody that has lost someone in September 11th,
Hey, you is smart.
they're angry now and they're looking down at us.
You're a smart bitch.
You a smart bitch.
How about you be my date over at Jason Williams?
Okay, not gonna lie. It is so stupid and so ridiculous.
Is it racist?
Yes.
He's saying, the gist of it is you can't read because you're black. Why can't he read? Why can't he read? Why can't? When is he proven he can't read? Forget about the comedic effect of it. How is it not racist? Fred's playing cotton picking songs.
I think he does say X at some point. If I'm not mistaken.
He said that.
Oh God, I'm actually yes, it's true. Too bad Gilbert wasn't there. See, Gilbert could get away with it more than Howard, but even listening back to this, okay, let's just finish the clip because it is making me chuckle just a snurch. Sorry. Oh God, I hate when I stop things on friggin' Google.
Why can't he read?
I don't know why.
What illiteracy does Deion Sanders have? Why can't he read exactly? I think his college career is better than Howard's.
Sorry, I have to go back. You can just ramble.
He wasn't
about
in general
Deion.
studies.
just ramble about him for a few seconds while I get back to that clip because I cut it off in the middle of it and then I of course completely lost it. So hang on a second.
In a land of cotton. Yes, Fred, we got it. Black people pick cotton. We got it, Fred. That's on you.
Yeah.
That's Fred Norris playing that.
Yeah, of course.
But this is
But
much
that's
less.
what they always did.
Joe Rogan,
Spanish people, the chicken came on. I mean, this is what they do. They're so stupid.
But the point is,
hold on.
Okay, you have the events
of September 11th affected you personally.
What happened September 11th?
Well, personally, anybody that has lost someone in September 11th,
Hey, you is smart.
they're angry now and they're looking down at us.
You're a smart bitch.
You a smart bitch.
How about you be my date over at Jason Williams' house?
Yeah.
It has
you.
You knucklehead.
Thank you, you smart-ass bitch.
These white bitches can speak real good.
Damn, Allie Landry is
What language is she speaking?
Next, we have Indiana.
Who have the event of September 11th
affected you personally? Well, question is from Kansas. Would you rather have a strong president with weak morals or a weak president with strong morals?
This here question from Kansas. Oh boy, lots of words here in this here question.
Would you rather? Oh, screw it. Kiss me.
I wonder what she'd rather have. Kind of curious about the answer.
Can't wait.
You have to understand this is an audience full of pageant people.
Better morals.
Thank you.
Thank you, nice lady.
What is it, Scotty?
As I'm
drenched. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Now, this next here question is from Vermont. It say the following. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck? Go ahead.
Well, Dion, how much wood would a woodchuck... You're on District of Columbia. Select your question.
Please, he's getting good at that.
Yeah,
Please.
he's repeated this enough, now it's rolling off his tongue.
Please reach in and select your question.
I think I nailed the please reach in line.
It's only taken me 3 tries.
I don't ask.
South Carolina asks.
Recite like the...
South Carolina asks.
President Bush had said,
President Bush have said. You know what? People said, what did Deion Sanders do after he left football? And they said he went into wrestling. I said, you kidding? No, he's wrestling the English language.
I think he speaks better than Howard does.
Okay,
honestly,
that was the end
on
of
the
the
current show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the Uncle Tom is very strong, and Robin, too sweet, Pistol Pete. Jamie
Honestly,
Foxx was
if it was Artie and Gilbert doing this show, it would have been tear-inducing funny. Like,
yeah,
because yes, it is goddamn racist, but it is also Artie is actually what makes it funny for me, because he Artie knows that it's stupidity. It's Howard that doesn't really. I mean, obviously the clip is okay. You have to
Fred's
listen
playing
to Deion
Klan
Sanders
music,
and how
right?
stupid he is. Yeah, total Klan music. That last
Right?
one.
What is? I mean, what is Rogan? The knockover Rogan versus this?
That's right. And let's all not forget
Listen.
from G Canada, having Robin makes this all okay. That gives you
Yes.
that gives
That's
you the black
exactly
pass,
right.
if you will.
Trying to chime in.
That's
G
it.
Racial beard.
G Canada's a great Monique. He has the Twitch and the YouTube. I think he
Oh,
has
always.
4 identities.
He always
on.
double
He's-
teams us.
He's the best.
G Canada double teams.
I love that.
and he writes the same thing on both of them with a slight difference because he's going into two places.
That's so Canadian.
Let's see. John Doe says, agreed, because Gilbert pivots to being Jewish if anybody calls him racist. This is true. And, Howard doesn't know how to get away with. I mean, he did.
Yeah.
And there's not a single person on here that can tell me that they didn't, chuckle about this when it was first on. They just can't. Because it was so silly. I remember it. And I remember hearing that on air. So what are we talking about? How many years ago?
It was immediately blocked too, Monique. When I tried to post it 2 years ago, immediately blocked.
Oh,
They're
of course
going
it
after
was.
specific. It was one of those things. That's how you know it's good.
Oh yeah, but
this
by all
is
means,
20
let's
years,
play it
this
on
is
our
about
show.
20 years ago. It's about, yeah.
Yeah.
It's somehow different because it's scanning through the whole thing. I don't know.
Bon Jovial, 1 minute and 50 seconds, please. Please make note. Okay, so then we have.
Let's go.
Here's what I have left. I
Yeah.
have Ching Chong and then Olsen Twins 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, this is what Howard feels about the Asians. I guess Ching Chong. It's really quick, but we've all heard this.
We've all heard this. But he does it all the time, though.
Just want to give you how
It's
he's
not like he's
right.
ever even changed doing this. He does this.
But this
still.
is current too. This is evolved. This is all he knows how to do. This is his default. When he hears Asians, he goes to this. No evolving is going to change that. No Marcy Turk is going to change this.
All right, hang on a second. Let me grab ye the Ching
Sunflower
Chong.
Dragon. It's true. He just has. Howard has no comedic edge to it. He doesn't have what that little thing it takes in comedy to pull that off. You're right, and Artie does, and so does Gilbert.
Well, that's because they're comedians and Howard's not. That's why. Okay. My coughing fit is over. Thank you, everybody, for your suggestions, though. Quiet you.
Stop talking about your personal
I put it on. It's like ching chong, ching chong, chong, ching chong, 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 and a whole bunch of subtitles. And I said, honey, there's subtitles. She goes, what? I go, yeah. So, you know, I see she goes on. I said, Google it. She goes on. She puts on the trailer. It's like, ching chong, chong, ching chong, 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 ching chong, chong, chong. And she's like, I'm not watching this. I said, yeah, me neither.
Of course he did that. So we are going to end today's 2-hour-long show that we digressed from completely from today's show with a little bit of Olsen Twins. And this is because everybody's been quoting how terrible his Olsen tirades used to be. So we're going to play a little bit of it.
Did you find one on your own, Monique, in addition to mine?
I actually posted one on Twitter today.
Okay, so I think mine are different than yours.
Well, mine was that one that was really actually horrific.
Yeah, they're all horrific.
This was particularly...
I see no humor in it. I see nothing. There's no irony. It's just all awful. It's terrible.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm going to whip mine up as well while we're on here so that just in case it is a different one, we can play it. But give me a second here. How long are these clips, babe?
They're not that long. Maybe a minute.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let me just pull mine up here as well, and then we can... just bear with me, guys. I promise. I know this is a 2-hour-long show on a Monday. We got to stop doing this. We're not doing this anymore. Listen to me, Johnny. For future daily shows, we go daily, okay? Don't
I
forget.
just wanted to match up the races.
Daily shows.
Okay.
Daily. All right, Olsen Twins 1. Here we go.
Roll camera.
Ay, Dios mío.
Olsen Twins, I do them.
I don't know. I'm off that.
Stamos said to me last night that he could have gotten them to dinner with me, but
You can't make it?
I had a business meeting.
Oh.
Plus, I'd end up doing them, and it'd be ugly and messy.
Yeah, you don't
He'd
want
get
that.
upset with you.
He'd get upset. My girlfriend would be upset. It's not worth it. I'd end up doing them just so I could come in here and tell you I did the Olsen Twins. Hey, guess what? I did something really wild last night. I banged the Olsen Twins.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
John and Bob Saget treat them like daughters.
I know. So does that Dave
I don't buy
Coulier.
that. I don't buy that at all. No, I'm not buying that. They don't
No?
treat that. No.
You think that John should date them?
I do. I told John that. I said, why are you not dating them? Date them. Date them both. Who cares what people think?
Oh, mine is so much worse than this.
Okay, that's all right.
Let's go to Olsen 2.
Build to it.
Bang.
I'll tell you who's hot. You got a white woman, I know that. Is that 17-year-old Avril Lavigne. Oh, my God. Boy, she's amazing.
You're now getting hot for 17.
She's good looking.
She looks annoying, though, right?
Yeah.
You hear
really,
her talk?
Right? Yeah.
You hear
really
her talk?
annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, she gets the award for being most like Fiona Apple and annoying.
You want to get plain just
Too serious?
dirty, filthy, dirty old man? Did you see the Olsen Twins?
I thought they look horrible.
Wait a minute. In the tabloids this week, I think this is the most wrong thing I've ever seen. Telephoto pictures of the Olsen twins on the beach in bikinis.
Get out of here. Let me see that. Where do we have that?
Where'd you get this?
I have them.
Let us have it.
How much?
Come on, give it to
I
us.
should sell them.
Oh, come on. I want to see it.
That's not
Are you kidding?
That's not the wrongest thing. Give it to us. We'll show you the wrongest thing.
Hey, see us messing up the Olsen twins' face.
Yeah, that's the wrongest thing.
How old were they at this point?
14.
Yeah, they were definitely underage.
Okay, here's Olsen Twins 3.
He's talking about coming on a picture of 14-year-olds.
I don't. Sitting here talking to Gary about the Olsen twins.
Again?
Well, no, not what you think. The Olsen twins, it's reported, are going to be on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Uh-huh.
It's really funny. I want them on this show because my youngest daughter, my 9-year-old, is way into the Olsen twins. I mean, has every one of their tapes, knows everything about them, loves them. But doesn't love them the way I love them. I love them because they're going to be hot. She loves them because she thinks they're great and wants to dress like them and meet them. And you know what?
You each have your own interests.
She has a bug up her ass, my youngest daughter, about the fact that my two older daughters, met the Olsen twins when we had them on the air when they were very young.
Right, I wondered if you remember that. I think they were about 7 or 8.
When they came in here?
Yeah.
I think they might have even been younger.
I'm not sure. Yeah, they were pretty young, but I think about 7.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's appropriate to say they're going to be hot. Because I remember saying that about Alyssa Milano on Who's the Boss.
Right.
I said, oh, she's going to be hot.
And she was.
All right. So, the one that this Michael, whatever his name
Cernovich.
was, thank you, was trying to play for everyone. Okay, now just remember, they're like 13 years old. Okay, 13.
Yeah,
you guys 14, are all gonna die with
yeah,
this
whatever
one.
It was. Yeah, the same thing.
So this is why it has to be exposed because again, cancel one, cancel all is my feeling right now.
Yep, that's right.
So I'm gonna play this for you. It's only 55 seconds, but and we're probably gonna leave you with this one because you'll all be stunned into silence from it.
It's a good way to end.
Yeah, and it's pretty horrific. So hold on, this is.
And then I said, oh, get the Olsen twins, Mary, Kate, and Ashley Olsen.
What are they up to?
Well, those are the two kids from Full House. Remember the two little girls from Full House?
Sure.
Well, now they're like 13, and they're pieces of ass.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures of it, because they still are. They have such an incredible career.
But let me say something. And normally I don't look at a 13-year-old and sexualize them. I don't. But these two are pieces of ass. They're grown up perfect.
Are they budding yet?
Yeah. Their boobies are out. So, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I'm not into 13-year-olds.
Well, yes, you are.
But I don't know.
You can't say you're not.
No, I'll tell you why I'm not.
On about the Olsen twins.
I don't look at them like, oh, gee, I want to have sex with them. But I look at them and I go, man, they're going to be great when they're adults.
You have an appreciation.
Okay? I have an appreciation for what's about to happen.
Okay.
How does one explain that away if this gets in a...
Can you imagine?
How do you do a blackface? I was out of my mind back then. How do you explain in the most spin obfuscating way? How do you explain that one away if that gets out there?
You don't.
In the mainstream.
Not when you're yelling it on the radio.
You don't.
Is anyone laughing? You find that any humor in that? I don't. In irony, I want to have sex with... Is there anything comedic about that? I'm not trying to even act sanctimonious. Who's not grossed out by that? Oh, I'm so righteous. Who's not grossed out by that?
Wasn't Howard like 40? Or
yeah.
When he's like in his 40s.
So if they were 13, and how old are they now? Let's go with 33.
33,
just for shits and giggles.
So this is 20.
Okay.
He's in his late 60s, late 40s.
Well, you can tell right now. He mentions that Ashley's 9, so just subtract whatever she is.
She just turned 30, right? So it's the same.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 years ago, exactly.
Right. He's in his late 40s.
Yeah.
Wow. You guys, seriously? Could it be worse than that?
No, I mean, put them all together. Put the ones I gave you and just put them in one big compilation and send them to whomever. And how do you get out of that?
You don't. You don't. But
I don't care if
but nobody cares. I mean, it's like...
Yep, when you're a silent partner, nobody cares.
It's not...
I mean...
Babe, we're going back pre-Sirius.
This is Sirius's brand now. I know.
A couple of days ago, people were going off after that douche Machine Gun Kelly, because when he was 23, he publicly posted that he wanted to do a 17-year-old Kardashian, and people were crucifying.
This is 1,000 times worse.
And yeah, exactly. He's like 23, she's 17, so whatever. But this is like a guy almost 50 talking about 13-year-olds.
Yep.
And there's Fred in the background. Are they budding? I mean, it's so disgusting.
They're all complicit to it, right? They're all going along with it. Nobody's...
It's shock jocks.
Yeah. It's
and he's watching it with his kids.
Is like he said that, and he constantly brought them up. They had a countdown until they turned 18. Whenever it was around their birthdays or something like that, he would mention them. He would bring them up. He would talk about like what was going on with them, what they were in, etc., etc. And this is who the man was. And you can't tell me that the shit he said about Millie Bobby Brown is not, in the same rankings of this kind of shit.
The Loser Club writes eventually HBO or someone's going to have a documentary. Now, Loser Club, eventually, we're going to be the ones that have to do the documentary. It's not going to be done by a mainstream. We should do that like that guy Porcelain who does all the documentaries on. We really should do our own. I don't know. The filmmaking, I certainly can give ideas.
You know what the problem
Sara
is?
And Bon
the problem
Jovial.
is getting other people to talk. That's all.
Yeah. Unfortunately, on whatever
Nobody
side
cares.
of the political fence you're on, it takes someone like Donald Trump Jr. in order to give it, to breathe life into it. That's how he got exposed the last time. It was Trump Jr. at the height of Trumpism that posted the blackface stuff, and that's how it got attention. That's what I don't care. I'm as left wing as it gets. Whatever exposes him, I'm all for it.
CB says Corey Feldman did a documentary on himself, and he didn't even talk.
Yeah, I know, that was the worst. That's really funny. Yeah. That's so true.
That is true. That is true. Well, I hope you guys are all as disgusted by him. Yes, it has to be done the right way. I agree with you, Beth Lilly Assistant. Completely.
I don't think
we have some good filmmakers on here, though. Bon Jovial, Sara.
Hook him,
collaborate.
Right. So it'll be victims that come out from the past as the Losers Club. All the women he embarrassed and harassed will unify, strengthen numbers.
That Erica Durant's clip is great, and she didn't get any attention from it.
You guys, the problem is, find me the woman who says that, he put his hand on her.
They're all like strippers and hookers, so
they're all strippers and hookers, and there's nobody.
That's
listen,
the thing.
There's one thing about Howard that I can probably say is true, which is that he's not a sexual predator in the Harvey Weinstein sense of things.
Well,
I can make you big if you do this to me. And if he did have anybody on it, it was all hookers and pros. And, they were more than happy to give a blowjob to Eric the actor or something like that. G. Young, I think Howard is into humiliating people, and by sexualizing them, he removes their humanity. His staff, guests, and interviews done by others, he tries to get the upper hand by making them uncomfortable. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is exactly who he is. Hey, Gary Puppet, you said you just tweeted it. I thought we lost you forever on Twitter. So congratulations if you're back on there for the 17th time. I'm happy for you. Public humiliation is just as horrific. It'll linger for a lifetime, but you can't, I don't know, as it was told to me one time a long time ago in the fashion industry, is like, if somebody puts your hands on you is a completely different story from somebody just being a dick.
Yeah.
You can't sue somebody for being an asshole. And, in this day and age, you can leave, you can walk out, you can leave your job, you can do all sorts of things, but you really can't sue somebody for being an asshole. Like what happened to Governor Cuomo. He touched girls. He was probably completely inappropriate with them. And then you had numbers. It's like, okay, if one girl says it, you put it on the side. Two girls say it, you're still pushing it on the side. But then
Didn't
3,
they drop
4,
all the charges
5,
already?
6, 7. What, babe?
They already dropped all the charges against him.
They had to. You know what? They just needed him out of office. That's it.
Yeah,
it was a coordinated effort to get him out of office. They hated each other, the mayor and the governor. I don't even give a shit, to be honest with you, about what goes on. It's like a friggin' cesspool right now. All right, everybody, thank you again for being here. We will see you mañana. We'll try and, cobble together yet another show for you. But, well, hopefully... Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.